Hey everybody, what's going on? It's me, that guy from Team Needles, bringing you the first of a couple E3 videos because I meant to do one or two last night, but I was just so tired after watching all the conferences and organizing my thoughts into semi-bullet points because most of my videos I just do off the cuff and then I sort of get off track, but I wanted to make sure I hit specific points. Let's just get the simple one out of the way. The Xbox One S is the 360 Slim to the 360. It is just a smaller chassis, slight upgrade, not much of a big difference. Yes, it can stream in 4K now, it supports high dynamic range gaming. That's about the only difference other than the integrated power brick, and you can buy a model with up to 2 terabytes of a hard drive, or you could just do the regular method and buy an external hard drive, which I have done with my original Xbox One, which is sitting right there. That's why I generally seem to be pointing over there. It's because all my stuff is over there. So before you say I'm a fanboy or anything, just getting this out of the way. Xbox One, day one controller. Controller that came with the PS4 day one. I have used both for their entire lifespan, so I'm about as unbiased as you can get. So Xbox One S, essentially just a slightly upgraded Xbox One. There we go. So Project Scorpio and the PS4K. They are the weirdest marketing pitch I've ever heard. But for those of you who think that Xbox One S is supposed to be the Neo's competition, you are sorely mistaken. Microsoft would not compete against the 4K or Neo, whatever the hell you want to call it, with the Xbox One S. If that were the fight, there would be no fight. However, Project Scorpio, much like the Neo, is supposed to be the step above the slim models. I'm just going to use slim models as that intermediary. It's like slight upgrade model. Like we all know when the PS3 first came out, it was this big bulky thing. And then we got this smaller PS3 Slim, slightly upgraded, a bit smaller, you know. So these are going to be upgraded versions of those, almost brand new consoles. But every single game for the entire generation life is going to work. And as far as Project Scorpio is concerned, because Project Neo hasn't announced anything like this yet, all accessories for Xbox One, Xbox One S, and Project Scorpio will work with each other. Now, like the Neo, all games within its lifespan, I've already probably said this, will work. So any PS4 game will work on the PS Neo. Any Xbox One game, including backwards compatibility, so some 360 games, whatever that library may be, will work on Project Scorpio. Now, the specs of the two are, respectable. Because I looked up the processing power of the GPU in that they said the Project Scorpio had in the video, which was the 320 gigabytes per second memory bandwidth. They essentially have the equivalent of a GTX 1080 in there, as opposed to the PS Neo, which I need to scroll down. PS Neo's rumored to have 36 Radeon GCN compute cores at 911 megahertz a second, or at 911 megahertz, not per second. Because a lot of the specs are rumored. So I'm just going to go down the list of each specs that are known or my best guess of. And you guys can judge for yourself which might be the better device now, and then we'll see how close I am once these things actually come out. And then the next video, I will get into their press conferences where I might have an unpopular opinion. Those of you who've seen the press conferences or seen news about E3 might know what I'm getting at. So, the Project Scorpio, what we know about it is has a 6 teraflop GPU that renders at 60 hertz and can run uncompressed pixels. It has 8 CPU cores, the equivalent of a GTX 1080, 4K gaming output, not just video output like the Xbox One S. The optical drive is most likely Blu-ray if they're going to follow suit with the Neo. Its default hard drive is going to probably be between 2.5, 3 terabytes, much like the hard drive rumored for the Neo. They're both going to be VR compatible because in the announced video they had one of the creators of Fallout 4 saying they wanted to bring Fallout 4 to VR, and it's nice to have a machine powerful enough to give the resolution and frame rate that they want. So, PS Neo is obviously going to support PlayStation VR, which, take it or leave it, you know, $400 for a system that cost $400, $350, costs more than the system itself almost. Little hesitant about that. Like the average consumer would be very hesitant to go, you mean I have to pay the price of another console for an accessory that can play a very limited of marketed games at the moment? They'll both support VR. The PS Neo doesn't have a release date yet or a rumored time, but Project Scorpio will come out around between October and December of next year. Most likely November because holiday shopping season, they would want to boost sales, obviously. So the next gen isn't here. It's very clear that they don't want generations to continue. They sort of want a machine for the time being that can be a slight upgrade to those of us who would want faster hardware, give developers more freedom, but at the same time not leave behind those of us who have original Xbox Ones, original PS4s. They don't want to leave us behind and essentially, alienate us again. So the optical drive of the PS Neo is going to be no, I went on a little tangent there. It's going to most likely be a Blu-ray 50. It's rumored. A lot of stuff on the PS4 is rumored. 8 gigs of RAM's rumored. Its CPU is going to be 8 2.1 gigahertz AMD Jaguar cores. I don't know much about Jaguar cores, but it has 8 of them. But then again, so does Project Scorpio. Like, people thinking Xbox One S is clearly the inferior machine to either of these. It's just a slight upgrade. Like, you can stream 4K video now. You can play all your Xbox One games. It has an integrated power support, has slightly bigger hard drive if you pay for it. That is the only difference between Xbox One and Xbox One S. The graphical and computational differences between, let's say, the PS4, the PS4K, or Project Neo, or the Xbox One S, Xbox One, whatever, take your pick, to Project Scorpio, very different. These are two very separate things. So Xbox One S is the Xbox 360 Slim. That's all it is. Don't get confused. That's all it is. I'm going to repeat it. I've just been repeating it so much so it sticks. Might be slightly annoying, but that's the only main difference. So these are both going to be powerful machines. They're going to probably be comparable to a top tier gaming PC. Not like super high top tier with people running like more than one GTX 1080, which can support 8K gaming. But from what I heard of 8K, to the human eye, the difference between 4 and 8 becomes very hard for the human eye to detect. Like, the 8K image will probably look better side by side, but it's to the point where it would become too realistic for your eye really to tell. So they're both hoping to run true 4K gaming at 60 hertz, and we're going to see how this goes. So next year we're going to get Project Scorpio. We're probably going to get the NX, which has its own set of things. It's probably going to be inferior to these two machines, but again, the Wii U has been inferior to these machines as well. So what are you going to do? Well, that's been me explaining Project Scorpio, PS Neo, going through their specs. They're not here to replace the Xbox One or the PS4. They're here to be, I guess, top tier. Like, the original ones are going to be the bottom tier Xbox ones. And then the Xbox One S is going to be like your in between tier. And then Project Scorpio is going to be top tier. And then PS4 is going to be, bottom tier, mid tier. I don't think they have a slim model. I don't see what they would do with the slim model. And then Project Neo is going to be top tier. So that's all I'm saying. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe. If you have any more questions about these, I am more than happy to answer and explain these in the comments below. And if there's enough of the same questions coming up, I'll make a follow-up video because I do understand this stuff pretty well. Like, I'm not an expert or anything, but I know enough. Like, more than the average consumer. So we're going to break on 3 people. We'll see you next time where I talk about the PS4 and Xbox One conferences. I cannot talk right now. What the hell? And we're going to see which one I thought was better and why I think that way and what they both brought to the table, which I'm looking at right over there. I'm going to break on 3. 1, 2, 3, break. Dear God, I rambled for 10.5 minutes. Ah.
Clicking our heels.